Hello, everybody. Sorry, the music ran out there towards the towards the end of that. I didn't realize these bossa nova things from Epidemic Sound, which is what I use to put music on YouTube. And everything. So I've been trying that out to see what that sounds like. There's a wide variety. I think I've done something different every single time I've uploaded now. I've used some funk. I've used some EDM, kind of some chill, laid back. Also, I think I've done a little bit more pepped up. And also we've done some like hard rock. Punk rock, really, or metal. Metal's probably the better way to put that on there. So we've actually done quite a bit of different music, and I think it's done pretty well. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on it. I usually have something to kind of start corralling viewers into my into the lounge, I call it, or whatever we want to call the waiting area before you actually get to see my wonderful face and my screen that you see before you right now. So I always try to have something musical for you guys to kind of chill out to until my voice comes on. But yeah, so just kind of seeing how that works. So today on Fail Along With Me, Oddjob, we are going to be building an Elastic Stack. Used to be known as an ELK stack. ELK stands for Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. They've also added what they call beats into it. I believe it was a technology they either purchased or developed. Elasticsearch did. Basically, it's just a way of ingesting, transforming, or otherwise ingesting various things. It could be a packet capture sensor or a packet capture forwarder. It could be, hey, we see these files in a particular format. We're going to consume that and, move that into Logstash. So there's a lot of things that it does. There's a lot of different types of beats. So there's like little individual types of beats. Primarily today, we're going to be focused on just the three main components of what was known as ELK, Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. So to give you a little bit of a background, pardon me, gotta have a little bit of a drink here. Woodford Reserve. It's in a flask. So it's not hooch or anything, just bourbon. So what's going on here? Some important background. So SIM technology, log aggregation, whatever you want to talk about. There's only a few commercial players who do it really well. You have Splunk, of course, which a lot of people love, and it is very effective. It's very good at what it does. It is not a SIM technology. A lot of people will say, oh, Splunk is a SIM. It makes a really good SIM. In fact, it's always in the Gartner Magic, buy me a steak Magic Quadrant. And it's really good. It works really well for what people need, but it's more than just a SIM. It can take any data from any system and help you make business decisions with it, or just help you make better decisions with it, track efficiency, blah, 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 blah. Build your own. Just adjusted the screen there because, yeah, there we go. That looks better. So, yeah, so it can do all of that. The less simmy thing I've seen it do, I saw an application that essentially, I guess this Splunk customer or user, they had some type of PBX environment for their voice over IP or their phone system, but their system that they were using, I don't know if it was Asterisk or whatnot, but whatever system they were using would not allow them to... it would not allow them to, what am I thinking of here? It wouldn't allow them to do dynamic tolling of phone calls going through the system. So if, person A needed to go over here, it wouldn't say, oh, therefore, it needs to take this path to get there, and this is the toll for that. So it didn't have any logic or bits in it to be able to determine what it was. It was just, this is the toll, and that's it. So basically, they built a Splunk application that would monitor the logs real time of calls being made, and then on the fly changing the tolling for that call, just changing that so that when they went back and accounted it later, they would have the appropriate tolling for the calls. So that was really cool, because now you kind of have an automation feature in there that you're putting in, but it has nothing to do with security. It purely has something to do with the business there. People use it for inventorying. People use it for all kinds of. People use it to tie inventory with the e-commerce system, with the customer service, ticket system, and like all of it can be. You can make Splunk everything for your entire business to be able to use, but it's expensive. The amount of gigs you're allowed to store per day or per month is ridiculous license-wise. So a lot of people don't like it for that reason. Then you get people like Logarithm. They're very good at what they do. Not a problem with them at all. A lot less expensive, bit of a different license model with them. They have some different things that they do. I think they have what's called the autopilot system, where, you can basically have Logarithm agents essentially helping to keep your system in tune and all that. So it's kind of more of a service offering, quasi-service offering thing you own. So that's really nice. So there's a lot of commercial tools out there available for you to use, but in order to play around with them, you kind of have to do these 30-day licenses that go away, and then you got to rebuild everything if you want to do it again. Splunk does, I think, has a dev license that's good for like a year. That's nice for longer term experimentation like we're doing here in the lab. They also have a 30-day license, I think, or 60-day license that you can get just for free to try it out. I've done it before. I've set it up before. They're very nice to set up. Fairly easy to understand. The documentation's fairly up to date. There's not really much that changes with it from version to version. But of course, as you go over wider version gaps, you're going to have bigger differences. But from version to version, there's very little differences, and you're not going to notice much. So fairly nice, good documentation, good support group. Very good support community. It's not a 12 steps program. 12 steps of Splunk, my higher power anyway. No offense to anybody who goes to 12 steps. So there's a great community behind it. But then you come up to things like Elasticsearch, ElkStack, where they are an open source shop. And so this is one of those shops that that gives away their product essentially for non-commercial use, and even, I think it's even commercial use can be for their basic Elk stack. Can be open. You can do it, but if you want support with it, if you want certain licensing and everything like that, then you got to go through them. If you want special premium add-on features and other types of things that go along with it beyond Elk, well, then you got to pay, and that's wonderful. I love that, because just the basic engine, the nuts and bolts of what you've got, it's free, and it's wonderful, because now you've allowed a technology to have a community that can adopt what's going on if they believe in it. They can develop on top of it their own stuff and, put their own things around it, which is great. So I saw a blog post that actually talked about the difference between Splunk, which is one of the most popular commercial SIMs out there, commercial log aggregators, and the difference between Elasticsearch and Splunk. And as far as customers, at the time of the writing of that blog, Splunk self-reports only 15,000 customers. You think 15,000 customers isn't very big, but you figured there's a lot of Fortune 500s using Splunk. There's a lot of other, even smaller companies using Splunk at the mid level. And so there's a lot of Splunk users out there. So they make money. They're not doing bad. They're making their money. Whereas Elasticsearch has millions of downloads already reported. So there are millions of people out there, both independent people like me, individuals, as well as companies that are using this. I think the blog post was saying, you know, there's a reason why Netflix and several other of these applications and people that you use, that you and I both use, they're all using Elasticsearch. They're not using Splunk. And there's a reason for that. It's because they can see the code, they can develop it themselves, they can do things their way. With Splunk, you really can't do that. You can develop your own apps for Splunk. You can do that for sure. There's a lot of things that you can do to build inside of Splunk. But Elasticsearch is a lot more open, even more open than Splunk. So, kind of an important contrast to make there. So we're going to be building NelkStack, and this is part of a great design of mine here to essentially have a Cuckoo Sandbox, to have a HoneyNet, a honeypot network. We'll be building that soon as well. And then to have an Elasticsearch, an Elastic Stack off to the side as well. And essentially what that's going to do is the Honey network is going to be gathering in threat intelligence or attempts on passwords for SSH. I'm going to have it using, I think, Cowrie to possibly gather some malware files to then be detonated by Cuckoo and then examined by me personally. If they don't detonate or they don't come up malicious, who hands away free good files? On the internet to things that, to strangers, you don't do that. Don't give things to strangers. So that's going to be going on. And, all those reports and everything like that's going to go up to Splunk. I have a Fortinet firewall here. I'm going to be forwarding its logs off to Elasticsearch. I'm hoping maybe to get that set up today because the Fortinet can spit out syslog. So I'm hoping maybe we can get that out today. I might be putting in a DNS server, or I might be putting in a Pile here soon, and I'll put that up when we're doing that. I'm going to put that in as well. We're going to make a Pi-hole. I've seen more and more people starting to do that recently, so I might be jumping on the bandwagon too much, but some people have been having troubles with getting Pi-hole set up. So we'll see if I have troubles, and maybe I help everyone out by coming up with the definitive video of fail. And so yeah, we're gonna develop all those things and put that in. So we're gonna have this nice, maybe not well-oiled machine, but we're gonna have some kind of machine gathering data. And then at some point, once we have this machine all built, we're going to essentially have a little bit of a threat intelligence network there. A little bit of something, not much, just a little bit. And we can kind of see what live attacks are going on right now. We can see what attempts are, going on. If there's some new cool vulnerability, we can go in and we could see, hey, is that live? Are people just trying to scan across the internet live right now to just see what shit's, happening on that? I can set up a honeypot to do that maybe. And see if people are trying to attack that. So that would be interesting data to see if we're catching this stuff in the wild, just randomly by people because honestly, if my honeypot in Azure or AWS is getting hit by some system out there randomly on a new thing, it's already script kiddie easy. Like, it's already script kiddie easy if you're on the internet for less than a day and you're already hit with an attack from a relatively new vulnerability. It's already script kiddie easy. So that just shows how easy this vulnerability really is, and how prevalent it already is, given its exposure through either full disclosure or responsible disclosure. So take another little swig there. All right. So what I've done in preparation is I have set up a Ubuntu box for this purpose. So that way we can get going. I figured you guys didn't want to see me installing an Ubuntu 16 box. That would be a little bit boring. Might help if I can type in my password correctly. I think it's 1 and then 2 of those. Yes, there we go. Good. I just gave you a hint as to my password, possibly, maybe. Cool. Awesome. And then we can come in here. I can open this up. Ooh, son of a bitch. What happened there? That's not good. Let's reboot. Power up. I've seen this before, and a reboot usually fixes it. Like a full power off, full power on. If not, I might have to change something. I've only got one person watching me right now. Hey, how are you doing, mystery person? Ah, there we go. Hello. We now have access to this. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to install SSH so that I can get into it. So this is not set up as a server, it's set up as a desktop. And the reason why I do that is because I want to be able to have a GUI that I can work with. So that's the only reason I have that. Ubuntu Desktop is essentially like Ubuntu Server. The only difference is you have a GUI. Now the GUI does have a whole bunch of shit that you don't need on it, so that's a problem. But this is a lab environment. It's not, you know, live. It's not Fort Knox. It's, you know, don't tase me, bro. But, you know, let's see here. Termi. Let's get Termi out here. We're just going to call this elk stack for the host name. Let's see here. I've already done updates, so that's cool. So let's do a sudo apt install OpenSSH server. Maybe. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did I break it? Did I break it? Is it doing this again? Yeah, these virtual machines have been doing this lately, where they just they'll just freeze up the visual, and I have no fucking idea why they do that. So I'm gonna do a reset. And this is why I want SSH on here as well, because this will happen. Okay, cool. Do your right through. Yeah, that's not good. It's because I did a hard reset on it. Okay. Boop doop boop boop. Boop doop doop. Sorry that some of this I don't always have fun commentary while we're doing this. Let's see here. Sudo apt install OpenSSH server. Okay. Excuse me? There we go. Damn right. Yeah. I'll totally continue. Seriously? Oh my god. It got fucking stuck at the do you want to continue prompt. Ooh, let's see if we can Alt F5 this, or F1. Alt F1. Nope. Control F1. Control Alt F2, F1. Nope, that's not good. That's not good. I have no idea if that messed anything up for you guys at home. Hi everybody. I accidentally turned the terminal on this. So dang it. So now I've got to try this again. Again, I have no idea what does this. We were having trouble with this on Cuckoo at one point as well too. So Elk Stack is used with a lot of people. A lot of people use Elk Stack. So if you have a managed service provider that is gathering information in your systems and then bringing it back to their central system, most of them, okay, maybe not most of them. A lot of them, especially the good ones, are using Elk Stack, or they've built their own thing, but they're using Elk Stack, and they'll have some kind of sensor or some type of main collector unit at any site that you have. Guess what? Elk Stack or Kibana is on there. Well, Kibana may not be. Logstash certainly is on there, and then that gets sent off to a Elk, Elasticsearch, and Kibana system. So here we go again. We're going to try a sudo apt install open SSH server. Oh, before this does... crap, I mistyped it again. Go before it does this. Yes. Awesome. Now I'm just going to wait. Yeah, see, it got stuck right there. God damn. Now the bad part is I'm going to have to figure out what IP address this is on, because I didn't do an IP config. So one way I can figure that out is to get into my that will be actually nope, there we go, and that is going to be a 4434, I think. Either that or 8443, I think. I forget what I set up on it. So that's, I don't think is working. So it's maybe instead, I think it's 192.168 dot. It's not 1.1. It's 200.1. No. What is my IP address? I have config. Because IP is stupid. 2000, or it's it's 200. So why can't I 4434? Ba-la-la-la-la. Did I jump on the right? Yeah, I jumped. Okay, good. Sweet. Awesome. So now we have a network, interfaces. We can go into logical topology and we can see all the things that are doing. Not now. It's a 200. I'm looking for a 10 address. Physical topology. There should be a 10 address. Or no, actually it could be a 172. That's a printer. It's all that. Interesting that I'm not getting anything on that. Sources. Oh, goddamn. It could be this. Could be that, although I doubt it. Let's see if 172.16.172.3 is pingable. Nope. What about 2? 2, I can't ping. Well, that may be a firewall feature. Haha. I don't know what the 10 is actually. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. So cool. So I get to start just like trying random SSH. Actually, I can go in here and see my DHCP leases. That's a much better way to handle it. Network. No. User and device. DHCP. No. Because there's something that should have gone out. And it should have been something like... policies and objects. That's just routing. Yeah, my DMZ is, yeah, down here is DMZ. So there's DMZ right there. That should have went out to the internet. That makes sense. I mean, all those are that. Interesting. All the things I'm going out to. Weird. Weird that I'm not seeing the source that I'm looking for. That's just all my box information. At one point I knew right where DHCP leases were. Device inventory. That's that one, of course. Okay, that's the virtual host. For some reason it thinks it's offline. Other network devices, thinks those are offline. Yeah, it used to have those. DHCP monitor. God damn, that's not even funny. Okay, so 172. Oh, it's elk stack is 172.172.2. Okay. Okay, that's fine. And no route to host. Well, it gathered stuff from the internet. Do I not have that as SSH I can have? But I mean that should totally be there. There should totally be a route to the host. No, it's policies. Hydronets to the DMZ. I can do anything I want in the DMZ. And the log. I have all sessions now. And I don't have any NAT, and I don't have any security profiles going. So, okay. Try it again. Okay, weird. Ping 172.16.172.2. And I just want to make sure, because I mean, the only way I can be on this is if I can host unreachable. Okay. You gave it an IP, and it should work. And I believe it's plugged into the correct interface, or else it wouldn't have DHCP'd properly. And it has appropriate VLAN, or else it wouldn't have DHCP'd properly. Let's give it a reboot. Because why not? While we're waiting for that to reboot, I put a link in the description. As I'm going through and using resources, I'm going to put links that I like in the description. This is Elasticsearch's quick start. Want to deploy everything in one click instead? Try the Elasticsearch service. Basically, they put it up in the cloud for you, and off you go. But we want to build it our own. We want to build our own thing. So you get Elasticsearch by downloading it, or you can install with the package manager or with MSI. So we're going to have probably Debian or something else do it for us. I'm sure they have an apt-get, right? Maybe not. They do have Ansible, Puppet, and Chef, which those three have kind of become the big... That and Salt, if people still use SaltStack. Those have kind of become the big automation and configuration management tools to make sure you maintain configuration of all your servers. Yeah, so there's a Debian thing. There's also RPM, I guess. So yeah, with the Debian package. Okay, there we go. So we'll end up doing this for each one of them. We'll have to do a wget, blah, 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 key and all that, installing the repository and then installing that. And of course we could just do it manually, which we may end up doing that too. Enable automatic creation XPack indices. XPack will try to automatically create a number of indices with Elasticsearch by default. Elasticsearch to allow automatic index create, no additional steps are required. However, if you have disabled automatic indexes, you must configure action on. Okay, that's fine. So that'll be cool. All right, cool. So are we able to do this now? Yep. For some reason now I can ping shit and connection refused. Wait. Now I remember this happened last time and it literally for no reason started working later. Did I just log in as a guest? I fucking just logged in as a guest. Yep, I just logged in as a guest. Fuck that shit. Let's get into Oddjob. Get into Oddjob. Not without a date and a stake, folks. Gonna have to wine and dine me before you have me that way. Cool, let's do a terminal. And let's do a netstats town. See if we have port 22. Oh, nope, we don't. So what about service open SSH server start? Not found. Okay, that's fine. Start open SSH server. why not Google it, right? Yeah, it's always that. God damn it, did it again. If anybody can tell me why it does that, it would be... And I think it's literally just an ESXi thing. There's probably an update for me to download somewhere. Because once you're in SSHDIN, it does not do that at all. It never does that. It just never does that. I shouldn't say stops working, I should just say freezes. Okay, cool. There. And we're going to do sudo etc init.d ssh start. God damn it. Command not found. Oh. Oh, sshd start. Interesting. So did it not install SSH? Like at all? Did it just not install it? Yeah, it has SSH. Depick it, you want? Okay. Zero upgraded, zero install, zero. It's alright, the newest version. Okay. Okay, for whatever reason that was hanging up. Now what about that? It could be someone, host identification has changed. Oh, I get it. Because this used to be on that IP. And has this done yet? IF config. Okay, what's the ephemeral? IF config. IF config. ENS 160. 172.16.172.3. Sudo. All right. So now, when I come into here, what about that? Weirdest thing I've ever seen. This is so weird. I'm just gonna do a restart again. This time it'll be a nice soft restart instead of a hard one. So there we go. There. And now let's try this. Oop. Oop. Alright. Okay, so it's still doing that. Okay. So let's see here. Add correct host key to get rid of this message. Offending ECDSA key in is remove with SSH keygen-f home oddjob.sh known hosts dash r 172.16.172.2. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, yes. So basically, I mean, that's a basic. It's a basic feature to protect everyone. Seriously? Or did I? Oh shit! Did I do that? Oh. Oh, come on. I just logged in over there. Thank you. Drink every time he fails his password. No, we're not upgrading. Not quite as bad as going from Windows 7 to Windows 10 Microsoft, but still annoying. Okay, cool. So, I get to come in here to Elastic Stack. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this and bring this out. Let's not do anything quite yet. So what is it wanting to do? It's wanting to... Oh, it's just downloading the SHA as well. And it just wants to make sure that the SHA that you downloaded and everything it matches. That's perfectly fine. Alright, so let's do the first three. Bam. Oh, okay. Just paste, honey. Just do it. Thank you. Alright, so it's downloading Elastic. So here now is, that's Elasticsearch. Let's see with Logstash. Okay, so there. Yep, so it's okay. To do this manually, actually we can do it from apt for some weird reason. Oh no, we can do that. We can do that. That's fine. That's fine. All right, so we're just gonna do this then. Okay, so there we go. Paste. Really? No. Come on. Okay. Fucking. All right, and then it wants me to do a sudo apt-get over here. All right, and then save the repository definition to that. Okay, that's fine. Paste. And then sudo apt-get updates. Oh. And sudo apt-get install logstash. Logstash? Yeah, not a logstash, buddy. Logstash. We'll wait for it to read. Logstash. There we go. Let it read again, and then yeah, we didn't have to have it do that again, but whatever. I have cycles to waste apparently. Download Kibana if you have. Yeah, there we go. We need this in the thing, and so if you're using so you can't use that, you have to download it. Install with the Debian package. Oh no, you can. Okay. All right, so there we go. And so it's just install Kibana. Okay. Excuse me? Get selecting previously unselected package logstash. Setting up logstash. Could not find Java. Set Java home or ensure Java is in path. Okay, so we have some stuff. So I am going to do a getting started. Started. Elk stack. Getting started with elk. Contributing. Oh, that's just that. Okay. Oh, and they want to actually install Elasticsearch first as well. That's fine. We can do that. Sudo paste dpkg oh, okay, so that makes sense. Sudo dpkg Elasticsearch. Do I not have dpkg? Really? Seriously? Oh, dash I. Okay, for install. Okay. Subprocess new pre-installation script. Errors encountered while processing that. What? What? Okay, so already we're having troubles here. We always have trouble at this point because installing is never fun for some reason. So we've done the whole curl sudo dpkg. Elasticsearch requires Java 8. Specifically, as of this writing, it's recommended that you use Oracle Java 8. JDK version, Solves platform. Won't go into those details. Installation documentation can be found on Oracle's website. Suffice to say, before you install, please check your Java version by running that. Okay. Linux, JDK. For Linux platforms, JDK 8. For the 64 Linux platforms. Download the file, unpack. Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay, where do we get that file? Oh, of course I'm going to accept the license agreement. Of course I'm going to accept the license agreement. Why not? Oh, it's a development kit. I don't care about that. I need the JDK. Java development kit, okay. Okay, so which one do I get? Okay, there we go. Copy link. wget. Paste. Seriously? Oh my god, it requires a sign-in. Seriously? Yeah, you have to download it. Okay, so what if we did open 8 JDK? What about open JDK? Okay, so you can use OpenJDK. Okay. So let's do a sudo apt install OpenJDK -8-JDK -headless. Or maybe we just do JDK. Cool. Because I shouldn't have to pay to use open source shit. I think Logstash was still in the middle of trying to process. So that was cool. So Elasticsearch is now installed. That's how easy that was. Let's do Logstash. Just make sure everything goes well. And let's install Kibana. And cool. It installed. So being that this is the first victory of the stream, we installed it. So yay. Little Final Fantasy victory tune there. Hopefully that's enough for fair use. Not using that for a you know, for the whole thing. So hopefully that's fair use. I'm not making money off of this. So cool, awesome. Little Final Fantasy victory tune. So cool. So it should be installed now. So all we have to do in order to actually activate this and get it going is just to do the Elasticsearch start. So that should be all that's needed. So let me double check a few things, make sure I'm good. Good. That looks good. That looks good. It looks like the only thing I need to do is like just start Elasticsearch appropriately now. Unless it already is started. Actually, let's do this. 172.16.172.2. Okay, and of course I expected that to not connect, but I think 9200. Nope, it refused to connect. Let's do a netstat town. Figure out what it's listening on. Local address, nothing that I'm recognizing. So, sudo service start Elastic search. Let's make sure that got put in there. So ls user share. Well, that's a lot. Elastic. Yep, so there's stuff in there. That's good. So we know that stuff at least got put in. So let's do start elk stack. Start elk stack. So cool. So this is an entirely DigitalOcean thing. This actually gives you a bit of the architecture. So the user is using like Nginx or a reverse proxy, which is then using Kibana to search and visualize logs. inside of logs, Elasticsearch, which is actually storing the logs, and then Logstash on the back end is processing and indexing logs. So it's accepting log. So Logstash is the log collector. It is grabbing logs from everywhere. So things can shove stuff over to Logstash and it's all good. But what they've also done is for specialty things that require special processing, like let's say you have either a bro sensor or a some type of packet capture sensor out there. So you've got these packet capture files that are just saving off to the side, or you have something, some application or some security tool that's saving packet captures. You can have a file as it gets saved off. You can have a file beat that is installed on that server, and it is listening and grabbing that off. Or you have a file beat, I think you can have a file beat server just sitting out there that is going in and checking in on these things and looking for files, grabbing them, and sending them off to Logstash. Logstash processes, index, and then shoves that off to Elasticsearch. It can also do transforms and stuff like that. So this is actually a really nice thing here. So yep, we're using 8 gigs of RAM and 2 CPUs. So actually we could have just done this. So okay, well, we may have problems, but whatever. So all of that is cool. There's some YAML stuff we could have done. You'll want to restrict outside access to your Elasticsearch instance so outsiders can't read data. Yeah, of course. So sudo service Elasticsearch restart. Okay, that's fine. Sudo, I had it wrong how I need to do that. Service Elasticsearch restart. Cool. Now let's try this. HTTPS? No. It's just refusing to connect. Weird. So sudo service Kibana start is another thing we can do. Sudo service, let's do them all. Kibana start, and then sudo service Elasticsearch start, and then sudo service Logstash start. Okay, cool. So we've got all those services started. Let's try. Okay, weird. Because we configured Kibana to listen on localhost, we must set up a works first proxy to allow external access to it. Okay, gotcha. So let's install Nginx. Yay, why not? So now we also want to install an Nginx server. That's perfectly fine. I like Nginx. I don't use it a lot, but I like it. apt-get install Nginx. Apache 2-utils. Yes, I know, it's more interesting to see the stuff over here. Use HD password to create an admin user called Kibana admin. You should use another name that can access the web. Okay, so sudo HD password -c, and it's going to be in etc Nginx HT password users. Oh, it's still oh no, it's good. Hello. Okay, so oh yeah, because we're creating this, I think. Users, and we're gonna call this what are we gonna call it? We're gonna call it elk stack admin. Password you guys don't know. Password you guys don't know. Cool. Awesome. Enter password at the prompt. And then now open we use VI. Sudo vim. Oh god, no. We're not doing that. Sudo vim etc Nginx sites available default. sudo apt install vim. Yep. Always run vim. I should just keep a running total of all the packages I need, and then I should just have a script off to the side that I can just run. At some point I might just do like an Ansible thing. Sudo vim, cool, awesome. And then it wants me to delete the file's contents, paste the following code back into the file block, make sure to update the server name. So cool, we're just gonna pop that. So I need to delete all of this apparently. I'm not gonna delete all of the file. I'm just gonna delete all of it up to here. So I'm gonna delete all of this stuff. Actually, let's see, what is this, about 20 lines? Oh shit. Okay, that's fine, because it was all commented out anyway. So let's go ahead and just paste this in then. And paste. Paste. Cool. Back up here. Nope, just the server. And then let's exit out and DD that line. Cool, awesome. So listens on port 80 for server name. So this is not going to be 443. It uses HTTP traffic for the Kibana, which is listening on localhost 5601. So if I tried 5601 over here, would I get anything? No. Okay. I require basic authentication. Okay, so we can generate, since we are going to use Filebeat to ship logs from our client servers to our Elk servers, we need to create an SSL certificate and key pair. Okay, that's cool. I was hoping to do Nginx with HTTPS. I might figure out how to do that later. Cool, awesome. Let's go back up here so I don't have to do that. All right, cool, awesome. We're gonna keep this like this, and we're going to just right quit, and we're going to do a sudo, sudo service nginx restart. Sweet, and let's check it. Pardon me? Oh, maybe because I have HTTPS as the protocol being used. Hey, let's see here. This is elk stack admin, super secret password. And look at that. We have another success after we had some bumps. So continue this little, turn that up just a bit here because it's a little down key there. Take a drink. Oh yeah, you guys didn't get to see it. Right over there. There it is. Awesome. So we did a thing. That's awesome. Try our sample data, they say. Well, I will try your sample data. We notice that you don't have any data in your cluster. You can try our sample data in dashboards or jump in with your own data. Actually explore my own, because we want to do this on our own. So yay, so we did the thing. We did a thing that we needed to do. So we built it. It's ready to go. We're having fun. At least I think we're having fun. Elk feeding. Let's see if do we have any fun GIFs for Twitter for elk feeding? I have someone scritching. I have someone scritching an elk's. Oh, we have little baby elk being fed. Oh, that's cute. I'm gonna use that. It's probably a deer anyway, but whatever. Elk, deer, whatever. In fact, that may even be a kangaroo. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to pop down here real quick. Sorry, guys, doing some promotion while I'm also doing this. Be back in just a couple seconds. Not even. I'm just going to narrate what I'm doing there. Yay, we installed it. Now it's time to start feeding our elk stack. Yay, cool. We did a thing. It's only been, hey, dudes, we got like an hour and 23 minutes into this. We've already succeeded. This is pretty awesome. So, so basically, I'm going to check the resolution here. Oh god, is that how shitty this looks? Is this like... Oh, I have it set to 2040. Okay, good. I was gonna say, and when it's in 720, it looks really good. Okay, good. I was checking the stream to make sure that I looked good, and it was showing it was showing 2040p basically. I'm like, oh crap, that looks terrible. And then I just bumped it up to 720. I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm fine, I'm good. I know I'm like, I think I'm exporting up to, or streaming to YouTube. I think I'm streaming at 1080. So cool. So APM automatically collects in-depth performance metrics and errors from inside your applications. So that's kind of cool. Logging ingests logs from popular data sources and easily visualize pre-configured dashboards. That's cool as well. Collect metrics from the operating system and services running on your servers. That's cool. So yeah, we have things. Security analytics. Centralized security events for interactive investigation in ready-to-go visualizations. So we can do that. A lot of fun things. What else? So we want to add data in here. So I have no idea what I'm doing now. So we are moved beyond. We have some management things we can do. Help us improve. No, I'm not sending you stuff. We can, looks like I don't have anything for Logstash right now. But yeah, so how do I do the Logstash then? So we have dashboards. I can create a pattern. That's cool. Visualize data. We can do some of that. We have Canvas. I have no idea. Oh, Canvas. What's going on with Canvas? What do I do here? Canvas is loading. Machine learning, I know, is machine learning is 100%. It's a paid feature. You can't use it. So that's unfortunate. So we have logs. Looks like you don't have any logging indices. Set up instructions. Cool. And it has a thing. Oh my god, it has a thing. Can we do not like Postgres, not Elasticsearch, collect and parse log created by Elasticsearch? No. System logs. Yeah, by the local system. Collect and parse logs written by the local syslog server. Yeah. So, okay. So let's see here. The system file beat module collects and parses logs based on the system logging service of Unix distribution. This module is not so cool. Awesome. So we can download a beat, bin Elasticsearch plugin install. Okay, so this module requires 2 Elasticsearch plugins that are not installed by default. From the Elasticsearch installation folder, run bin Elasticsearch plugin install ingest GUIP. I wasn't really needing GUIP, but okay. First time using file beats? Well, I don't want file beats. I don't think. Because I'm not looking for like actual system log files. Logging. Collect and parse debug. Slow log server. Yeah, so Logstash. Okay, so I guess I'm not understanding what they're trying to get at here. That's fine. We're going to look here at how to do. Shoob-doop-doop. Logstash, but it's not configured yet. Aha! Well, there we go. That's what it is. Since we're going to use FileBeat to ship logs from our client servers to our Elk server, we need to create an SSL certificate and key pair. Okay. Now you have two options for generating your SSL certificates. If you have DNS set up that will allow your clients to resolve IP address for the AUX server, use option 2. Option 1 will allow to use IP address, so we'll just use an IP address. Configure Logstash. Logstash configuration files are in JSON format and reside in the etsy logstash conf.d. The configuration consists of 3 sections: inputs, filters, and outputs. Let's create a configuration file called 2beatsinput.conf and set up our file beat input. Okay, that's cool. But what about the good old days when so what if I wanted syslog to Logstash? So what about in the good old days when I just wanted syslog input to Logstash, or is it all beats now? Okay, so here it is. Okay, so input syslog port, give it a port, codec ceph, so what I could do is I could go ahead and get my Fortinet stuff in there. Value type is codec, default value is plain, enable metric ID. Okay, so all of that stuff. Okay, that's just okay. So that's cool. Hey, how to do this? Cool, awesome. Determining private IP address. Cool, got it. Setting up bind address. Okay, that's DNS shit. It's configuring centralized server to receive data. So that's the syslog server. That's fine. Configured rslog to send data remotely. Formatting the log data to JSON. Configuring centralized server to send to Logstash. Okay, that's fine. Configure Logstash to receive JSON messages. Now that's all about JSON. But from rsyslog. Okay, so etsy logstash.conf. So, okay, so let's get into my Fortinet box, HTTPS 192.168.200.14434. There we go. So we have system. What do we want to think here? What do we want to do here? We want to see logs and reportings. This is going to be system. This is going to possibly be advanced. Debug logs. Configuration scripts. Compliance. Run a series of compliance checks. Nope. Let's just look at good old settings. What are we sending these off to? That's the FortiCloud for central management. Okay, that's nothing cool. Nothing interesting there either. Feature select. Switch controller. No. Traffic shaping, traf weight tracking, multiple security, implicit firewall policies. CASI, nope. Now, come on. Logs and reports, log settings. Well, there we go. Well, there we go. Little Don Knotts there. Alright, so that's showing all of those going up there to my FortiCloud account. Fortinet. Fortinet syslog. Configuring syslog settings. Log report, log settings, syslog server tab. It's a tab. Did I not see the tab? Oh, right there. Well, there we go. .2. Done. Apply. And yeah, local log traffic. Enable all. Absolutely. Shazam. So we've just applied all that. It's cool, awesome. So now technically, I think it should complete the configuration as described in table 124. I mean, it's pretty much just going to be 514 is going to be the listening port. All right, cool. That's fine. That's all good. That's all good. That's good. Oh, GUI preferences. No, don't just do, yeah, don't just do that. Show it from FortiCloud. Oh, absolutely. So now the forward traffic will look a little different. My local traffic will look a little different too, because now I'm going to hopefully pull it from FortiCloud. My forward traffic should look very different now because I'm pulling it from FortiCloud, which should hopefully have like all the things. Oh, that looks a whole lot better. Because now I'm pulling it from FortiCloud. Okay, that's cool. I may not want you guys seeing everything on there, though. It's mostly just Google Ads, so. Don't want you to know where I get my porns. You might judge me for my porn sources. Let's see. So, what I can do here now is go into Etsy log-conf.d log-conf, and we can copy and paste this. Paste. I don't like how it always like gets rid of the first couple letters. Oh shit. There we go. Nope. Can you capitalize? Thank you. And then just delete that. Cool. Awesome. So in input UDP log/ private IP. So that goes there. And that is one. Oh, I need to. 172.16.172.2 for now. It's going to be 514. I think it's going to be JSON type rsyslog, I think is correct. Output type, if rsyslog Elasticsearch, host Elasticsearch private IP, and that's going to be down here. See, if you had log set dash on a different server, you'd be needing to do all this. But because I have it all on one server as a stack, we can do that. See, usually in like large distributed environments, you would want to have your indexers clustered and scaled out, and then you'd want to have your log stashes clustered and scaled out, and you want to have your Kibana servers maybe clustered and scaled out because they're kind of your search heads and visualizers and doing all that stuff. So you might want to have that, so you would want to build this stuff out to where they can work with each other, or maybe you want only these log servers having certain data on them, and so you have certain dedicated Kibana servers to hook up to them, and then so the user has to go to this IP for this type of data. So you might be able to separate your data out that way. but then all of your Logstash stuff is all the same thing, and they're just collecting all the things, load balanced or whatever, and then they're deciding, oh, if it's this from this port and this IP, bam, down there. So, yeah, so that's basically what they're wanting to do there. Yeah, host IP should be that. Okay, so we're gonna type in cool, awesome, and WQ. Okay, and then this should be so actually, oh wait, what? Shit, did I just mess this up? Quit. Yep, because I didn't do sudo. It's always when you don't do that. Okay, cool. So let's paste this now. All right, so I think I actually need to have this listening on a different port. And I don't know if I can change what port I'm listening on. 172.16.172.2. Down here as well. 172.16.172.2. Cool. And that's there. WQ. Awesome. So then the next thing I need to do is to do a sudo service this restart. Sudo service logstash. Cool. So we're doing that. I might want to change Fortinet's syslog server port. Remote syslog. You can do it on the CLI. Cool, that's what I remember. Set status enable set port. Yeah. Config log setting. Yeah. So let's do that now. So let's get into the CLI, which I believe I can access through the dashboard. Yep. Right down there. I'm going to detach this separate little applet over here. And we'll just pop it in like this. So config log syslogged setting set status enable set port 10514. Okay. Exit end log out. Whatever. So cool. So I've got that. So let's see if we're getting anything on Elk. Yeah, over here now. Let's see if we're getting something. Check for new data. Check for new data. Check for new data. Check for new data. Oh. Okay, so do I need to... Okay. You couldn't find any Elasticsearch data. Check new data. Check new data. Okay. Because that's generally how it works in Splunk, is you listen in, and then, you know, we check the cluster default settings and found that it says monitoring provides insight to your hardware performance and load. Turn on monitoring, absolutely. Getting your monitoring data, cool. So at least we'll get some monitoring data on the Kibana system. Because that's important. So if anything, we'll get data out of that. Oh, yeah, cool. And I gave it 200 gigs of storage space. I figure, you know, that should be enough for now for most purposes, but, you know, we could end up filling up a lot. Let's add some. So you can do Suricata logs, you can do OS query logs, and you can do NetFlow set by a NetFlow exporter. That's kind of cool. So yeah, and Elkstack's basically a major competitor to Splunk because you can do anything with it, right? So there's e-commerce orders off there for your sample data. There's that you can go in and you can see flight data. You can see web logs as well. So that's cool. Collect and parse logs written by the local syslog server. Discover. Check for new data. Create index pattern. Include system indices. Yeah, let's not do that for now. How do I determine whether syslog or whether the syslog stuff is actually running? Tell you what, pretty simple here. Let's do a TCP dump on, oh god, ifconfig TCP dump NNEI ENS160, and let's do it for port 10514. Of course I don't. Sudo. And I don't think I'm receiving anything from Fortinet. Oh, no. We're definitely receiving something then. Yep, we're definitely receiving something. Receiving the appropriate logs. Okay, that's good. So we expected to see that. I don't know what we're getting, but we're getting something. So logstash Fortinet syslog. Let's see if someone's done this. Hello, I'm trying to parse the FortiGate firewall logstash. If type equals syslog, grok match hostname, blah, 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 blah. This is working example of FortiGate firewall config for you. You can change with your environment. Port, whatever you did, Forti_log. Ah, cool. So let's do this. Go back in there. So we have port, we have host, port, and then we did type. Let's do Forti_log. Tags equals let's just do this so that we know it works. So that's for the input, and then they do a filter. They're doing filter with a brace and pounds the FortiGate. Yeah. Syslog contains a type field as well. We'll need to rename that field in order for this to work. So if type, so this is now properly log stash stuff, equals Forta log, and now we're basically going to do grok, which I'm supposing is like grepping and awking or something. Match equals, or whatever that means, message syslog 5424 PRI syslog index greedy data message. And then bam, overwrites message tag on failure. So this is how we'll know if we get a failure or not. Forta grok failure. So you're kind of developing your own troubleshooting steps there. Okay, and we'll go ahead and there. Then we do a KV. Source equals message value split cool. I think that's all for that. Oh, I missed a couple things. Like right here. Like there was some other stuff to go here. Yep, there is. Oh god, it's actually a big ol' thing. Bam. That makes more sense. Cool. Cool, so value split expects you have CSV enable set on your FortiGate. If not, I think you'll have to change it to, but this hasn't been tested. Field split. I have no idea what all that does. Mutate. So now we need to change something. I want to use the timestamp inside the logs instead of logstash's timestamp. So that's actually good. So mutate. Using FortiGate's timestamp. Okay, rename. Type. Rename type. FTG Is there a space between that? Yeah, there's a space. Is there a space? Yep, there's a space there too. So I need to go back and make sure there's a space there. Spacing is always important. Type. Yep. And then rename. You know, why don't I just copy this all? Because reasons. Subtype. Bam. FTG. Subtype. So I'm basically what I'm doing is I'm renaming these things in here so that Logstash will use those instead. Add fields. And this is probably for the other thing. So since we've renamed type, we can now add in the type fields. So you can imagine why you need a lot of memory for this, because you're changing things on the fly when you do a lot of stuff like this. Convert. You know, I'm just going to do that for the rest of these. Everything else, yeah, this is all good. Let's do that. Paste, and I might have to do something else. Yep. There. Oh shit. Shit. Did I fuck it up? Did I fuck it up? Nope. I just need to hit enter. Cool. And delete that space. Okay. And then dates and all that stuff. Okay, cool. Add remove fields as you see fit. Remove fields. Okay, so it does all that. And then 3 there. Okay, cool. So we did filters. Oh, we already did filters. So I can actually just DD this. That's fine. So outputs. So, okay. So basically I'm guessing output and then std output or std out with codec Ruby debug, and then if type equals Fortilog, Elasticsearch, host name and port, which actually I can just shorten that to localhost for this purpose. And apparently we're going to do some HTTP compression. Don't know why, but we're going to do it. HTTP compression equals true. Index there forte, and then plus year dot dd. I don't understand why that last bit is needed. Yeah, I don't think any of the rest of this is needed. Okay, cool. So there, and that should be it. So WQ, restart the service, and now let's see if we're getting anything. And we may not be. Okay, so that was with, otherwise you can do this. You can try the following. You have enabled the CSV forwarding. If it does not, then do that first and then run this config. Otherwise, you can do the following config. Oh, okay. Do one thing, create one normal comp file, only input and output, and you'll add this filter in last. Create the normal input and file output. Seems like error in KV. Okay, so it looks like we're getting some. Now what is your output of all the information receiving that? So missing. Yeah, it works for the FortiGate. I have a tweak. Copied some other people's posts. KV if message mutate replace. Okay, so this is basically what he's doing. Shit. Well, then let's just do that. First, let's make sure see if it's even working. It's not. Okay. So we could just be fucking it up. Which is very, very, very much what could be going on. Oh, hello? Did I? Okay, I must have popped it back in. Cool. Quit. Oh, well, it also helps if I have the appropriate. It also helps when you actually have appropriate information at the beginning. So let's just take a little bit. Probably go for about 30 minutes to an hour longer. Just to kind of see what we can see on here. Let's see if there's anything. See, this is another cool thing about this is that, howdy, I'll check out this. Okay, cool, awesome. You just check out this blog. Totally went to something else. Kinetics Network Operations Center build part 3, metrics and monitoring. Oh, this might be interesting. Okay, thank you. Yeah, they're using Graphite, Grafana, RabbitMQ, PRTG. So you're using a lot of things here. That's cool. General monitoring, detailed logging, Logstash, FortiGate logging. One of the first items we wanted to be able to see was detailed logging of the intrusion prevention system. Basic dashboard and view. We want to make it much further and generate custom views based on our exact requirements. With events like Heartbleed and Shellshock, we're able to create specific dashboards, filters. Cool. So you have the FortiGate syslogging to Logstash, which does an HTTPI to Elasticsearch. Cool. First step was to configure the FortiGates. Here's the syslog format, config set port, config log, syslog, filter, set severity, error. One thing to note is that the log level is set to error. The reason for that is that by default, the FortiGate systems will log all sessions via syslog, and this will result in significant amount of data. Storing session data in Elasticsearch was generated hundreds of gigabytes a week, and taking a considerable amount of resources to do so. For now, we're simply using the NetFlow data through other software to conduct IP accounting and other detailed network analysis. So that's actually smart. So you may have tools such as firewalls and GFWs. You may not want every single thing they're talking about. You may only want the errors and above. You don't want information level stuff. So you want to be very careful, but you still want to keep an idea of like IP accounting and what's going on. And for most people, NetFlow will actually take care of you. A combination of NetFlow and packet capture takes care of a lot of things for people. On the Logstash server, there are two elements to the configuration. The first is the overall config. So you would set up a filter, if type syslog, patterns directly, FortiGate 52 base, 52 IPS. Essentially a vanilla Logstash file. Most of the work is done in the log patterns. This is in Grok format, which takes a bit of getting used to, but if you've worked with the regular expressions before, this is very close. Dear God, this is not good. These patterns turn unstructured data into structured data so that it can be easily logged and therefore queried. I found a few other references. Use Logstash before to get, however, none of them work perfectly for me. Rather than stopping and starting Logstash to debug setting patterns, there's a handy Grok debugger online, which is immensely helpful when first getting started. In a few hours of fiddling, I managed to get a working solution. You can quickly get a copy of the patterns I have for FortiOS 5.2. After yet another format change, even with the incremental, we've swapped over using the KV filter within Logstash. Here's what we're using. Many of the problems came from the fact that the log format seems to change just enough to be annoying. Some items are in quotes, whereas others aren't. So it took a few hours to sort out. Hopefully anyone who hasn't tried it yet can be benefit fiddling all I've done. Okay, so literally just a KV of adding the tag, I guess. Let's see if we're getting any data whatsoever. Okay, yeah, we haven't got anything. I feel like also I should see like Logstash under here somewhere. Elasticsearch management Logstash. Okay, so that's what they're doing. That's fine. Okay, so I'm going to try this then. So this was the filter, and it was just syslog then. Grok. Oop, I keep hitting the wrong thing there. Etsy Logstash patterns. Message And it looks like he's using FortiGate, 52 base. And then it looks like they're also using Modulus, FortiGate, which currently I'm unlicensed on my IPS, so I don't have IPS features right now. Working on that. And then add tag FortiGate. So let's do add tag FortiGate. That's fine. And then another grok, it looks like. Dir /etsy/log/patterns. Match message. V2. So I'm supposing this is gathering multiple versions, possibly, or it's gathering different software. So it's basically saying, hey, look for this stuff in particular, subscribe to these particular, listen for these very particular things that would be coming over that. So there, and then we would have another there to take that off. And then it looks like it would be Elasticsearch HTTP actually. So we wouldn't be doing mutates. Okay, and then we would basically just not do anything crazy here. We would just do, we would do output Elasticsearch HTTP. Oh, did the wrong thing. And we will do Elasticsearch HTTP host type, host, not hosts, just host. We'll just do that. Let's just do that for now. Then that ends that. That ends that, and then that ends the whole damn thing. Cool. So there's that, and then they also added a KV in there. And what did they do for their KV? I might do that, but FortiGate, add tag FortiGate, KV, add tag FortiGate. Okay, awesome. And I think that actually takes care of that. Yep, because that takes care of that, that takes care of that, that takes care of that, and then that's all for the filter. Okay, so I think that's all we needed. Okay, cool. Okay, I think that's all I need. So cool. So there, WQ, logstash restart. Now let's see what we're getting. I set up a logstash commands, logstash. I am trying to load up historical Apache log via logstash. I have below configuration. How do I confirm my logstash is actually loading? I'll turn up my configuration. Are you adding new line to the file? It looks like LS is waiting for that. Thank you for the reply. This may or may not be related to your problem, but since should be every file, not a directory. Thank you, I fixed that as well. Turns out the number of files in the directory files I have too large for my environment, so the updates right away. New directory copied some files and started logstash. This seemed to work for me. Not quite what I'm looking for. Aha. Perhaps you only want to know if logstash is still saying your monitoring system can interpret an okay. Okay, cool. Type heartbeat. Another input block goes here. Cool. Sequence numbers. Cool. Alright, so the sequence is intervals every 10. What, every 10 seconds? Yeah. So let's do that. Do do do. Do 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 do. Where is this actually? Okay. Yeah. Input. And we're gonna do a heartbeat. Interval. Type heartbeat. Okay. So let's see if that's working. The event should look like that. Sequence of numbers, sequence output. Now let's add a conventional output. Oh yeah, we need to put in an output. So you have for every output, for every input, you need some kind of output. Because after all, you did say your type was for the log. Shit, do I still have all this stuff saying the wrong stuff now? No, it's good now. It's good. Except for type is for the log, and yeah, I should definitely have something here that says output. It shouldn't just be doing all of the output there. Let's if type for the log. then this. Okay, so that's that. Then there, else. Else if type equals heartbeat, Elastic search host equals cool. And then we've got another there and there, and there should be another and another there. So now we should have a heartbeat going. If not, I might have to play around with this another time. We'll go for another 10 minutes and just kind of monkey around and see if we're seeing anything. So, basic license. My license will never expire. Yay! What's my update my license? So what does all that do? Okay, so there's if you get a license, gold and platinum users, help support, give you better service. So basically, if you're a gold member, whatever. That's cool. It's awesome. Visualize, index patterns, saved objects, spaces, saved objects, reporting, advanced settings now. All right, I'll probably have to read up on getting stuff set up here, on kind of what you do. So that might be something I have to do. It might be something that I do where I just go through a quick start and everything, but we've got this installed, and so I think that is cool in and of itself. Kibana's working. I still think I should see Logstash in here. I think I should see it. I don't know. Well, we got a lot of things that are working, which is really good. Management tab. Logstash is not showing up in the monitor tab of Kibana. Please advise, have you install the XPack plugin in Logstash? Okay, that looks as correct as far as. Can you run bin Logstash plugin list to verify the XPack plugin? There is no monitoring Logstash created. I've also, is Logstash running? Is it processing any data? I've changed my comp file. User Logstash internal password change me. These sections are not in the right place. It should be in the Logstash Elasticsearch block. How about this? Why do you have a user password in the input block? If Logstash is running, you should be able to curl its monitoring API to verify that it's up and running. When I run the conf, this is the output file. This is the new confs. Please do not post images of text as it can be hard to read. It's stating bad URI. Thanks. And of course, 28 days later, it was closed. But I should be able to do a curl. Local host. Wait, curl? Curl isn't installed by default? Oh my god. The fuck? How do you not have curl off the bat? Connection was refused. Wow. 172.16.172.2. Connection refused on 9600. Really? Net stats. Town. Oh god. Like all sorts of stuff are like listening now. Yeah, on 9200. Oh, on 9200. Not 9600. 9200. Yeah, connection was refused. Oh, no, we got it. Name, cure, yep, Elasticsearch, default. I mean, it's working. So that's the name of my thing, so we know Elasticsearch is working, but we don't know that Logstash is working. Let's see if we've found any more data. Check for new data. Yeah. Learn how. Logstash logs, collect and parse, debug. And so logs created by Logstash itself. Do I have to create a beat just for Logstash? Seems kind of silly. Alright. I'll have to figure out some stuff here. I'll have to figure out some architecture to see exactly how this works. Because Splunk works one way and, you know, this works another way. So basically, I'm stuck at the point. And this is where I was stuck on Splunk 2 when I was trying to figure out how that works. So I got stuck at trying to figure out how to send logs to a Splunk forwarder or to put a universal forwarder on a server and look at the proper logs and set it back. So this is the non-sexy part, which is just figuring out why your data's not being ingested properly. So this is just something that happens and something you have to do. And this is the not sexy part of doing this. So yeah, so I'll continue to work at this behind the scenes and kind of work on it. I think the next project is going to be Pi-hole, and then I'm going to try to connect that up to here and get some Pi-hole stats going here and seeing what all I've stopped and put a special dashboard just for the Pi-hole stuff, just to see what is being requested as far as ads go. So yeah, so I think that's it. We can go ahead and call this a bit of a victory though. So want to thank everybody for coming out and watching my stream, and everyone who then went on to watch the video. There were some not sexy parts at the beginning, but I think we got through that just fine. So yeah, everybody, we're going to say goodbye and we're going to claim victory because we did it in a stream, and couldn't have done it without you watching me, of course. So like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about this. Tell me if you like the music we've put on. Tell me if you want me to make any changes to format, if you'd like shorter videos, if you'd like longer videos. Sometimes it takes a long time for me to fail. Tweet at me on Twitter, fail at me, or fail along with me. 0DD J0BB is my other Twitter handle. And yeah, I'll catch you on the flip side, and keep failing. That's how you learn. Fail forward, my friends. Fail forward.